You're scrolling your phone late at night, and there it is, a $39 flight to Miami. You click instantly. It feels like a steal. But as you move to the next screen, the airline asks if you'd like to bring a carry-on bag for $40. Then you need to pick a seat, so you aren't stuck in a middle row near the bathrooms. That's another $30. By the time you reach the payment page, they've tacked on priority boarding, just to ensure you get overhead bin space. Suddenly, your cheap $39 getaway is staring back at you as a $124 transaction. The massive discount you found has vanished. The base fare now buys exactly one thing: the right to board the aircraft and stand in the aisle while searching for a place to put yourself. A generation ago, buying a plane ticket meant exactly what it sounded like. Your luggage and a confirmed seat were baked into the price. This chart reveals why that model died. It tracks ancillary revenue, money from a la carte fees. By 2024, it hit a record $148 billion. Over a decade, this share climbed from 9 to nearly 16% of revenue. These frustrating digital booking flows serve as the deliberate machinery of a $148 billion global unbundling strategy. When an airline charges you $50 to select an aisle seat, their operational cost to provide that seat is virtually zero. The physical chair already exists. Because there is no new overhead, almost every single dollar generated from that seat map goes straight to an airline's bottom line. This chart comparing global fares shows average one-way base fares dropping steadily. Meanwhile, the red caps show a la carte revenue growing to fill the gap. Budget carriers pushed this to the extreme, generating over 62% of total revenue entirely from add-on fees. Airlines have transitioned into high-margin digital landlords, extracting profit from the empty space inside the cabin. For a long time, the major legacy airlines watched from the sidelines, but as budget carriers stripped down their services and maximized their profit margins, the full-service giants were forced to adapt to survive. Their solution was basic economy. Premium brands introduced this heavily restricted ticket tier to mimic the rock-bottom prices of budget airlines. It acts as a lure for price-sensitive shoppers, pulling them in with a low base fare, only to upsell them on bags and seats later. The pressure of this model eventually broke the industry's longest holdout. In early 2026, Southwest Airlines abandoned 50 years of open seating, retrofitting its entire fleet to assign seats to chase those unbundling profits. With that domino falling, the entire aviation industry has converged on a single tactic. They trick consumers into the booking funnel with an artificially low price, relying on the friction of the checkout process to extract the real cost of the trip. And they are using advanced behavioral psychology to make sure you pay up. Booking interfaces deploy strategic warnings, often implying that if you skip the seat selection fee, your young children might be seated rows away from you. Now, generative pricing engines draw on real-time data, like weather, events, and market volatility, to rapidly adjust costs. By feeding your search history into an algorithm, the system evaluates your personal urgency, calculating the absolute maximum amount you are willing to pay. The final price you see at checkout has detached from the physical cost of operating the airplane. It is now calibrated directly against your personal desperation. Government regulators did try to intervene. The U.S. Department of Transportation launched a sweeping regulatory package aimed at eliminating surprise charges, trying to force airlines to display all of those extra junk fees up front. The response was immediate. Major airline lobby groups unified, leveraging their immense resources to sue the federal government to protect their lucrative, unbundled pricing structures. After a lengthy battle, a federal appeals court sided with the industry. They officially quashed the DOT's transparency rule over procedural violations, stopping the regulations right before they were meant to take effect. While lawmakers in Europe are actively drafting legislation to ban these strip pricing tactics, American travelers have been legally abandoned, left to navigate the booking gauntlet completely unprotected. What this means for your next vacation is simple. The concept of a trustworthy headline fare on a comparison website is dead. Your only effective defense mechanism is to ignore the initial search engine bait. You have to manually calculate the true all-in cost, adding the base fare, the bag fee, and the seat selection, before you even begin the booking flow. Ultimately, every buy button now confirms a customized, algorithmically generated fee bundle that happens to have a flight attached.